Hello Geminis and welcome to your December 2024 reading, the last month in 2024. So, of course, this month we have your full moon, but we begin with the new moon in Sagittarius. So that means right away a kind of questioning on the fire. Sagittarius is rules our house of faith, high philosophy. Jupiter asks of us, what do you actually believe in? And this is what I'm going to expand. So the new moon in Sagittarius asks us right away, what am I planting? I have to be clear on this because it's going to expand for the next 6 months. And then we have your full moon in the 15th on Gemini. That means the clarity on your mental, what's happening in the mind, okay? How we process information, how we hear things, how we speak. So Mercury, messenger of the gods, is also retrograde. So there's a revisiting happening with that full moon. So how it translates in your energy. First card that I have is the Hermit with the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. This is beautiful. This is you using your discernment, your wisdom, your, your wisdom, basically. And walking the path, releasing your old abandonment issues or lack mentality or anything that makes us think that we are outside in the cold while everybody else is warm, being fed and nurtured, and not us. That everybody else deserves things without having to compensate for whatever. Here, you're following that inner truth. So that means that must have been this beautiful connection with your soul, with your higher self, telling you the crap about this. And so you're walking towards harmony, towards balance. Under that, I have the sun, which gives me the idea that, yes, things are very clear on that. It's probably, since we have the sun, what would have prevented you from actually expanding fellow fire here, expanding to what you aspire, what you love, what you want to express. So it starts with that, maybe more calmly, reservedly, although they kind of, well, that's pretty much Gemini here. We have a reserved inward philosophy and we have an expressive aspect here coming in the month as yourself. But remember, we're in Sagittarius. So then here's your clarity. And I wouldn't be surprised if this happens around the 15th. Because here we have the strength. So all that fire, all that reactive programming. Here your higher self is there taming it because you got the understanding and you're grasping it right away. Under that, I have the 10 of Wands, like finishing that old fire cycle because you're seeing it from a different angle. Here is 12th house Pisces. This is really when we're seeing things from a certain angle that allows us the insight to know what we are actually going to sacrifice, let go, and all of that. Because all that weight and pressure of expectations and pressure on yourself, of course, when we have this, and you think you have to compensate because you're handicapped or you're lacking something, you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself, a lot of expectations on yourself. I have to, if I bake a cake, it has to cure cancer. that kind of pressure. And of all the things that you want to carry and bring, it's on your shoulders. Your own expectations, other people's expectations. It creates a pressure, a blinding pressure of energy on us until we drop it. We finish what we have to finish. If it's like a long stretch of studies and then you finally graduate, or a project or something like that. But when we're here, the project is never enough. You're always revisiting it. You're never finishing it. And it just creates this weight because of the expectations. So here, 10 of Wands. There's my fire. I'm at the end of it. I'm seeing this differently, because this is what is actually preventing me to be light and to jump in faith in the next cycle of my life. When it's like this, the Fool, he either does not jump, or he jumps with his fingers crossed. And then we're all invaded by with the fingers crossed, we're expecting the worst. So it's not so great. But you're understanding everything about this, because this is what is under that. So that clarity is showing you a different perspective on these things that you have. And that's why after you are not crawling under 10 wands, but you have 1 wand. You're leaving all of these leftover stuff, emotional pains from this behind, and you're going for a higher vibration. Under that, I have Judgment, which goes very well with Mercury retrograde, Wheel of Fortune, and the King of Cups in reverse. And the King of Cups in reverse, this is when he has imprints in his waters that are affecting his capacity to act upon what he loves, to understand emotionally and act accordingly, to even support oneself emotionally, to understand oneself emotionally and others. All of this will become overwhelmed, and our actions are being affected by it. So here, judgment on maybe people that were not, that could have been emotionally manipulative for you, or on Kings of Cups in reverse. Because when we have it for ourselves, when we're hard on ourselves emotionally, we will usually mirror having people doing exactly the same thing to us. So the revisiting of this will allow you to get that understanding, leave the old crap behind, so that the will can start giving you something else, and not the repeat of these old ingredients. So let's clarify this for you, my beautiful Geminis. I call upon the divine. I call upon the light. I call upon the Holy Spirit. Let me clarify this reading for Geminis for the month of December 2024. One more time. Okay, let's look at that Hermit and the 5 of Pentacles. All right. Well, we have the 10 of Wands. We have a Tower in reverse. So the nice thing with the Tower in reverse is that it kind of puts it more like we're bringing it down, or we're seeing it outside of us, but it does the effect of, oh, I see what's going on. It gets us out of the unconscious pattern. And the tower is on the level of the solar plexus. It's on the axe between the unconscious and the conscious solar plexus. So here the sun is not surprising here. Let's look at what the sun is bringing. So, yeah, okay. The sun is bringing strength. So, strength, 10 of Pentacle. The clarity about the weight you're putting on yourself is there. And the clarity on what you have to, especially the misunderstanding or the distorted beliefs you have to forgive around King of Pentacle in reverse. Around the abandonment, because the King of Pentacle in reverse is the one that cannot see true worth and value, that abandons, that cannot commit, that cannot ground things, invest in things, because there you go. So all of the misunderstandings about this, your strength, the energy, and your wisdom with the Hermit is allowing you to turn the page on this. Move on, forgive. Not forgive in the sense of, oh, I forgive the fact that you abandoned me and whatever. I'm not making you pure because I'm releasing you of the consequences of your actions. No, forgiving is I'm actually giving it back to you. I will not let the pain of that continue to hurt me and let me pay a price on this. So let's look at the Ace of Sword, strength, and ooh, wow, really seeing this and being able to make the decision. Isn't it interesting, those two cards? In the Rider-Waite, here they're a bit too artistic, so we don't have that beautiful mirroring of the angel and Adam and Eve in the bottom, one under the suppression of the half-truths or the only truths from our lived experience and not our higher self's vision. So we're kind of slaves of our conditions. And here, which that card can be very good if it's mastered, then we're not a slave, but we're a master of our condition. And there we can focus and be 10th house Capricorn Saturn. That's Saturn in Capricorn. And here, Gemini, there you are. It's more the feminine is being inspired, and the masculine is supposed to look at the feminine to, okay, what do we do now? So it's like your left brain and right brain dynamic with the pineal gland in the middle that receives an inspiration. The right brain gives it a shape, and then the left brain executes it. Will rationalize it, understand it, and execute it. So here, you're kind of getting it. Yeah, okay, they're giving me this again. So, lovers, and here I wanted to know the Hangman and all of that. You're making the decision to do that, and probably making the decision to bring back your sovereignty on you have the sovereignty on, because that's the Pope. You have the sovereignty on choosing what of above will come below, knowing that it passes through you, it passes through your understanding of the spiritual message or what frequency I'm letting pass. You have the keys of what door you're going to bless or banish. This is really like, okay, that's why he's right there between the decision and the anchoring in the four, in the truth. So that's why there needs to be that sovereignty on our lives. Okay, so anyway, with the Gemini and the devil there. There's a beautiful understanding here of the whole Wheel of Fortune in a way, Gemini. Maybe you're going to understand how the wheel turns. That sounds like a soap opera, but okay. Eight of Cups. What are you going to leave behind? You're going to release your whole last cycle. You could be releasing karmic, because of the devil here and the Ten of Pentacles, what has been transmitted from one generation to another. You could be releasing this karmic patterns. But if you've had the last 10 years, 20 years, 30 years and whatnot, where you sacrificed yourself, where the only worth and value you were able to gather was out of the price of you, that you're leaving behind because you just understood that you were a slave of the beliefs that you had. You're letting that go. Let's look at the Wheel of Fortune here with the Judgment. Ace of Wands, Six of Wands. Look at that beautiful new fire. And your next step will, because the Wheel of Fortune here and the Judgment will bring you, probably, since we had the King of Cups in reverse and here the Knight of Cups in reverse, following your heart or even endorsing, validating your emotions for some of you was a challenge. And here we have a, you know what, I'm dropping all of this. You need to acknowledge we need to acknowledge ourselves if we want to be able to be receptive and actually follow what our emotional truth. For a cerebral Gemini, maybe that was something you easily sacrificed. So here, at the end of the month, you're making the move. The wheel is going to start to turn in trying to reverse your King of Cups and your Knight of Cups. So maybe you're going to do it next month or slowly, surely, as the moon expand here in Jupiter, because this is a new fire. But it's really, I'm gonna call this understanding the wheel, because here with the devil and the Lovers, there's going to be a comprehension of what we put in the wheel is what it's gonna give. And here you're realizing this. You're looking at this from a completely different angle. And you're gonna bring a new fire in it at the end. That's gonna create something else. So, understanding the wheel. On this, my beautiful Geminis, I am wishing you an amazing Yule. And of course, Yule is on the longest night of the year. So it's going to be around the equinox, around the 21st, 22nd. This is when we light the log that's going to keep our oven warm within ourselves. That's going to warm up and nurture what we want to keep to be grown in the next 6 months, all the way to the spring. So on this, thank you for watching, sharing, commenting, and please subscribe to Help Grow the channel. If you want a private reading, it's in the bottom. And yes, happy Yule, Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, all the holidays that are during this time in December. And I'll see you next month. All right? Bye-bye.